You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Wednesday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby.
I want to give a special shout out to my buddy Gerald, who I know listens to the podcast every day.
The one who cheats at golf.
Yes.
Yeah.
I caught him yesterday taking a shit while we were on the phone.
Come on.
I don't know.
How did you catch him?
What do you mean? I called the dude.
Yeah.
He picks up the phone. He's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And then I just hear this like echo in the background, and I immediately was like, "Are you in the bathroom right now?"
Oh no.
And he paused for half a second. He's like, "How the hell did you know that?" And I'm like, this is standard protocol. You cannot hide when you're in the bathroom on the phone. There is, for some reason, every bathroom has like, it's not like an echo, but is it like...
It's the acoustics.
It's like
a certain
like
vibe.
an ambiance, I guess you could say, or whatever.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. And there's a bit of a difference between a home bathroom and like a public bathroom. Like if you're out somewhere, I think it's just like the makeup of the walls and stuff. But they both have very distinct... I can hear where you are right now. Mm-hmm. Now, that said, you're saying phone call, right?
Yeah.
Not video call.
No. Dude, I do it all the time, man.
I was going to say.
I talk to people on the phone, and if I'm dropping a deuce, I'll hit mute.
For the sounds.
In between.
Yeah.
When I'm like, pushing and shoving. Because you don't need to hear that.
No, honestly, that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, I'll talk to Courtney on the phone, and I'll take a leak, and I'll hit mute as soon as the stream starts flowing, and then in between,
See, this is how you can tell that I'm still in a newish relationship, is I am not there yet. I am not at the bathroom phone call point. We're talking. I am not ready to answer the phone if I'm in the bathroom.
Brother, if I'm gonna be real with you, I've been on work meetings and I've done this. I've been on like those Teams meetings we have, and I have my laptop there.
Brother, why are you telling me that you don't mute when you do the Teams meetings? You're telling me you hit the mute button for Courtney. I heard you flush like 3 weeks ago.
I do that on purpose in the Teams meetings because I think it's hilarious when it gets really awkward and nobody's saying anything.
That period at the end of the meeting where no one wants to be the first person that's like, okay, we can go now.
Just flush the toilet, man. Everyone gets so confused and nobody knows who it is. It's the best thing in the world, dude.
I need you to know, I know.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Stanley Cup Finals start on Saturday. Florida Panthers, Edmonton Oilers, and Oilers fans have been celebrating pretty hard. Clinching the Cup Final spot there. I mean, there was that lady flashing her bazoongas at the game and everything. I saw fans going crazy throughout the cities. Have you seen that video of those fans kind of harassing McDavid, though?
I have, and it's tough because like you can tell they're so excited to see the star of their city, the star of their team.
I've got a clip of it here. So it's like McDavid, he's actually got like a couple cases of beer, maybe like 6 things of White Claw or whatever. He's loading it into his car, and they kind of just like bombard the man.
Oh, it's been a beautiful night, man. Good game. Thank you so much. Good game, man.
He's so awkward. Like, he gives him a wave and stuff at first, but...
I think he's hoping that if he acknowledges that they're there, that they'll take their pictures and go, not realizing they are in full freak out.
Give me a hug, man.
That's the part that's too far.
Oh, yeah.
McDavid's like almost in his car, and then the dude just wraps around him.
Give me a hug, man.
And I get it, like, you're a diehard or whatever, I guess. But, I mean, if you want to see the video for yourself, text McDavid to 762-555. It's insanely cringe. But the one thing that's getting overlooked with this McDavid video is that, isn't it nice to see that he's happy for once? I mean, like, he's grabbing beers and stuff. He's celebrating. When do you ever see Connor McDavid happy, dude?
Is he happy, though? Or is he just buying booze for the rest of the team?
Yeah.
Is he just being a good captain? Because he looks miserable even when they come up,
I mean,
to it.
I'd be miserable, too, if a bunch of people surrounded my car and some stranger just hugged me. But
100% his face is the right face for the situation, but even when they come up to him, he already has that Connor McDavid super, like, straightforward face to him. And he's buying Coors Light. Is he really partying that hard?
I mean, I was going to say it's a sick ad from Molson Canadian and Coors Light there, too. I honestly, I really want the Oilers to win the Cup on the sole basis of I really want to see Connor McDavid happy. He's just one of those guys that always looks like he just found out his parents just got divorced or something.
Honestly, he's got permanent, resting, sad face.
He looks like his in-laws are staying at his place for the weekend.
Forever.
Yeah. Or like you just spilt your drink on him or something.
Right. Or on his carpet. He just got new carpet in the living room and you had a drink and you dropped it and he's just... Every time.
He always looks like he's stressed out, and I get it, the market that he played in, but for some reason his face just always looks like you just farted in front of him or something.
Those are two things that I think we need to see. I think we need to see, and you know me, I don't want Edmonton to win, but we need to see the Edmonton Oilers win the cup to see if that brings a smile to his face. And then also, what does he look like if he's in a different city? You know what I mean? If he's in Dallas playing for the Stars and the market doesn't really care that he's there, does the pressure coming off, is he finally happy? Is he finally having a good time?
True.
If he's not carrying all of Edmonton, Alberta on his shoulders.
I just want to see Connor McDavid absolutely sauced up, dude. I want to see where this, the next video after this went.
I want to see it like the Blue Jays just won a wild card spot. I want to see McDavid with the ski goggles just spraying booze all over the locker room.
# make McDavid smile again.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I am fascinated watching all this stuff going on with the UFC. Have you been following the latest Conor McGregor drama?
No, not really. I know what he's got a fight coming up, yeah?
Maybe.
No?
UFC 303 was supposed to be Conor McGregor and then another fellow named Michael Chandler, and this was going to be Conor's first fight in a long time. People were excited, and then all of a sudden, there was supposed to be a press conference, I believe even in Ireland, and it just got canceled, just randomly out of nowhere, and everybody's kind of like, whoa.
McGregor doing McGregor stuff?
Well, we're not sure. So UFC 303 was the pay-per-view they were supposed to be on. No longer being advertised as a pay-per-view. You cannot pre-order the pay-per-view on the UFC website anymore. They had released some old Conor fights for free on YouTube to help get people hyped up. Those videos have all been taken down by the UFC. And most tellingly, Dana White has been silent on social media since this all started to happen. People are saying that the fight's going to get canceled. And it is next week.
Really?
It is coming up real fast.
I didn't see any of this. Was this all yesterday?
This has all started to go down. I first started hearing rumblings about it on Sunday, coming out of the weekend, and now going through the week, it's just gotten progressively. The MMA community has been getting louder and louder.
I used to love Conor McGregor, but he's had so many dumbass shenanigans that peak Conor McGregor is the man. The strut, everything.
The way he carried himself inside and outside the octagon.
Knocking out old men in bars is when he started going downhill, you know?
That was the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
And
actually, I guess it was throwing chairs at buses.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, there's a series of things that just started making me kind of dislike Conor McGregor, I guess.
That's kind of the thing is I feel bad because I'm seeing people talking about they spent $10,000 with fight tickets and flights and hotels and accommodations and all that to come because here it is. This is the big return of Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
I feel bad for those people. But also, maybe now Conor McGregor will just go away, and then we could just be over it.
You want a world without Conor McGregor?
I just feel like maybe that's better.
You didn't like the new Roadhouse? You didn't like his acting?
I didn't watch it yet. And I didn't watch it because I was like, why does it feel like Conor McGregor is the main character? I'm not interested
It's just like Conor McGregor on cocaine is basically what it is. So it's just Conor McGregor.
It's also apparently the only place you'll be able to see him fight now.
Yeah.
You have Amazon Prime. And it's one of those things where it's sometimes you just wish you could take all of the fame away from a famous person. If they could just disappear, vanish into a hole in the ground, never hear about them again. They could just become a regular person working a regular job.
I one up your Conor McGregor, and I know you say one person. Can it be an entire family?
Oh, sure.
Every Kardashian, for that matter.
Yes, absolutely.
If we're making celebrities just disappear,
right,
the world would be a way better place.
Any contribution, addition to society they were ever going to make is likely already been made.
They shouldn't be famous. Their dad was O.J. Simpson's friend.
Right?
Yeah.
All the reasons that family is in the spotlight are not the best reasons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and like they've ruined society in so many shapes or forms, and now it hits close to home for me. Mm-hmm. Because they've corrupted Travis Barker. One of the Kardashians is married to him now. And
I was just going to say, the problem with your statement of can it be a whole family, you know, the old you have to be careful when you wish on a monkey's paw, you are saying that Travis Barker has to go away forever.
He's not a Kardashian.
He's married into the family.
He's just associated by a piece of paper, dude.
He's married into the family from a legal standpoint. And in the eyes of the Lord.
Do not call Travis Barker a Kardashian.
Travis Kardashian.
He's not a Kardashian, dude.
You may lose Blink-182 altogether if you get rid of the Kardashians.
He's distracted by the beauty, all right? That's all it is.
You're going to have to get him divorced.
How many of us have made mistakes just because we thought a guy or a girl was hot, all right?
Which Kardashian is he married to? Okay, you know what?
Yeah,
honestly,
I don't even know.
That was a test.
Yeah.
The fact that you didn't snap answer means there's still hope for you. There's still a chance.
They haven't got me yet, dude.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Dude, we got a text because you said if you could do it, it would be like a group. You'd do the Kardashians, just make them no longer famous, no longer relevant. Someone may have actually topped you for best group to choose. Remember the Jersey Shore? Someone just texted in. Somebody, we should get rid of the Jersey Shore. Everyone that helped make them famous, and maybe even my wife for watching the show.
I don't know if you guys have realized, but I think they've already done that. Like, I feel like they've dropped off the face of the earth.
I feel like they're actually. I read somewhere that they're looking at still doing spin-offs with some of the cast members who haven't like settled down to have families.
Are they like 45 now?
Brother, you know that's not going to stop them. If TLC could make a show,
what is the show going to be about? Them having back pain?
Taking an Advil?
Yeah. Just a bunch of dudes working out and going, ah!
Yeah. Also got a few texts that said the Paul brothers, Jake, Logan, Paul, would be good ones to get rid of. Mm-hmm. Can I say there's one here that I saw that I actually think I'm on board with? Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt?
I'm over Chris Pratt. Like, he did the Parks and Rec thing, and he was funny, and then he got into the Marvel universe, and he was still kind of funny. But, like, now he's Mario, and now he's Garfield. It feels like every time you want to go to the movie theater, it's Chris Pratt, and I'm just like, no, you could stop.
He's overstayed his welcome, in your opinion?
I would be okay without, no more dinosaur movies from Chris Pratt. That'd be all right.
Yeah.
Could handle that.
A lot of people saying Taylor Swift on the text line, which I agree. Like, she's just kind of in the limelight a little too much. But I will say, I do think Taylor Swift is beneficial for society in a sense.
We've seen the numbers. When she goes to a city anywhere on Earth, it's good for the economy.
Yeah, she boosts up the economy. She provides a lot of jobs, and she's allowing more dudes to watch football on a regular basis.
True.
Without being asked for the channel to be changed. And I know it is a burden for us football fans to see Taylor Swift pop up like 10 times during a game, and for some reason it makes us all mad. But at the same time, think about how many people out there are for once being asked, keep the game on.
Can we watch the game?
Yeah.
Can you put the Chiefs game on? Can we watch the Chiefs game later?
And do you know how many relationships are thriving probably because of that right now, dude?
Absolutely. No longer is the conversation between significant others being you love football more than me. Now, those people they're buying Chiefs jerseys. They're cuddling in on the couch. They're watching the game. They may not know or care what's happening, but whenever they cut to the owner's box, they're happy.
Well, and I think the biggest thing you need to keep in mind is that one day, she is going to absolutely ruin Travis Kelce. And so if you're like me and you hate the Kansas City Chiefs, that means we are almost at an end of this dynasty because she just put out a new record. So what do we got, like 2 more years till she puts out a new one?
I hate to tell you this, brother, but even if she does shatter Travis Kelce's heart, if this is not true love, that forever fairy tale kind of stuff, Travis Kelce is not making or breaking the Chiefs these days. He's good. But she's got to go for Mahomes if you want to bring that franchise down.
Well, at least Taylor Swift just helps you notice what girls are crazy, you know? Like,
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Heads up, I am looking at maybe going on vacation in November.
Okay.
Courtney keeps saying to me that we need to go on another trip, and we're looking at November, so Vacation Boys strike again. We're looking at the all-inclusives, and ever since we went to that adults-only one in Mexico,
you can't go back.
Dude, every resort that we look at, as soon as I see kids in the picture, I'm like, nah.
You're out.
Nah.
And I get it. Like, I, as someone who has kids, I think about going to the all-inclusives, and I see that there are ones with options for kids, and that's nice for us, right? For us parents, it's nice to know that there is somewhere for us to go. But I'm going to be annoyed by everybody else's kids down there, so why would I not understand for someone like you who has no kids?
I'll tell you this, man. The adults only makes a huge difference on a vacation. And me and Courtney were talking last night. Why isn't there more just like adults only kind of like places or things that you can do? Like how come you can't go to like East Side Mario's and there's like an adults only, or like you know how there used to be like the smoking or non-smoking section?
I was just going to say, it's not even like having, I hate to use the term, but segregation in restaurants is a new thing. Smoking versus non-smoking, almost every restaurant in a certain point was set up for that. All you have to do is replace the plexiglass that would keep the smoke in one side with something a little more noise canceling to keep the kids on one side.
Yeah. I mean, the plexiglass could be beneficial for people like me and Courtney who are like him and haw and like having kids sometimes. Then we just look over there and we're like, nah.
Yeah. Get the odd view of someone like me who's sitting at the table, head in hands, going, what have I done?
Or dude, like imagine if you could have like an adults only bathroom where it's guaranteed that you're not going to have to go in and see some little guy standing with his pants just all the way down. Sometimes no one changing babies. Like, I know I'm coming off across as a dick right now, but having more adults-only things in life would be beautiful.
Well, and I think that it can work in both directions as well. Obviously, for people who don't have children, don't want children, this is a chance for you to go out and just enjoy your adult time without having to worry about being imposed on by someone else's kids. But also, if this existed, those of us with kids wouldn't have to hear you guys complain about it anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, if you don't like being in the same place as kids, go to the adults-only restaurant.
Exactly, right? Or like adults-only planes, dude.
Dude, I got 2 kids. And I'll tell you right now, I am flying with my kids out to BC at the end of this month. Speaking of Vacation Boys, we will all fly together, but I'm flying back by myself first week of July. Mm-hmm. I would 100% have booked that flight back on a no kids plane.
Bro, when I go to the airport, it's like I see someone with their family, and sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, like they must be going on a vacation. Like, how awesome is that? I just see a dude who had to buy a bunch of extra plane tickets. Like,
we talk on this show so much about how hard it is to fly in this country. We don't talk about when you have to buy a minimum of 4 seats.
762-555. What else in life would be great if it was adults only, you know?
Oh, the movie theater. Mm-hmm. The movie theater. Because I get that kids can't go to the R-rated or the like really adult type movies, but sometimes I want to watch a Marvel movie, and I don't want an 8-year-old down going, Daddy, it's Spider-Man!
Absolutely, dude.
Because I want to say that.
Dude, even a walk-in clinic that's adults only, bro? Oh my gosh. That would be amazing to be able to sit there for the hour and a half that it takes till you finally get seen and not to hear a crying kid, a screaming baby, whatever it is, man.
Yeah. I mean, kids are great. I feel like someone should say that. But adults only would really work in a lot of places.
I mean, you don't have to be so defensive about it, but...
No, but my kids are great, I promise.
Yeah,
Thanks, Uncle Brock.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I was talking to a friend of mine. She was telling me about how she's seeing a new guy. They just went on her first date not that long ago, and he made the bold decision to take her out for spicy tacos.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess he just went for tacos, but he loaded up on the peppers, on the hot sauce, all this sort of thing. And I was just saying, I was like, that is a confident man. Because it couldn't be me.
I mean, it all depends on how long the date is, right? Because, like, are you hanging out for drinks afterward is the dangerous thing. Because, like, you can enjoy all that stuff.
Sure.
But if you're planning on hanging out for the rest of the night, that's where you start flying into the danger zone, you know?
Dinner and a movie was the plan.
Oh, that's rough.
So that's the idea of being like, I'm going to stuff myself full of spicy things and then go sit in what's supposed to be a quiet movie theater for an hour and a half to 2 hours. That's a bold man. That's a confident decision. Not to mention, even if you're, because I know you're a big spice guy. You love eating spicy food. But you've said over the years, your tolerance has started to decline.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I know I'm getting older.
You never know when your time is coming. You're sitting across from someone you just met. You're trying to make a good impression. You bite into a taco. The spice is a little hotter than maybe you were expecting.
Sometimes the levee breaks.
It's tough to look cool when you're going, pass me the milk.
I will say I think the worst food to eat on a date is probably ribs, though.
Oh.
Just sauce. Like, have you ever eaten ribs and, like, not just had sauce everywhere?
I think ribs is like, you got to be in the relationship for a good period of time. You got to be really confident with your significant other, male or female, to know that you're sitting across from them looking like an absolute toddler at the table, covered in sauce, mouth agape, hands dirty as hell.
Ribs, corn on the cob. When you smile, you can see all the kernels and stuff like that. I mean, like, I go full heathen when I eat both corn on the cob and ribs.
Yeah.
And I'll say this. There's no sexy way to eat corn on the cob. Like, I feel like with most food, does that make sense what I'm saying? Like, you could eat almost any food seductively.
Right.
You can't eat corn on the cob sexy, dude.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, if you do like a butter drizzle or something like that, like, I think up to the moment of eating the corn, there are innuendos maybe you could go through.
I mean, if you're eating it sideways, but then you're probably not eating it. You're putting on a show at that point.
Well, there's that. As soon as you go to put, like, tooth to cob, you have lost all illusions of being attractive.
Also, corn on the cob is one of the toughest foods to eat and have a conversation, like, while you're doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're like...
Yeah, you got a mouthful of these random little pieces of, what are they, nibs of corn, and then it like you said, is going to get stuck in your teeth. Like, no one wants to look at you while you're eating corn on the cob.
It's not hot.
I would say that the one that I think is the most stereotypical that is a lie is Italian food, spaghetti specifically. People always have these romantic, it's Lady and the Tramp that ruined it for everybody, talking about, oh my God, spaghetti, Italian pasta is so romantic.
It's adorable when dogs slurp up their spaghetti. Not so much when you do it at Eastside Mario's.
Right, sitting across from someone who's drizzling sauce down their chin, or you're watching them spin their fork and then just stuff it in their mouth. It's like, there's nothing, trying to tackle a meatball, like, chase it around the plate.
You could make that look a little sexy as you're, like, slurping it up. And you're
I don't know, man, because I get what you're saying, but I think...
Raise the eyebrows a little bit as you do it, you know?
I feel like it's ruined as soon as you get that at the end of it, you know what I mean? Like, when the spaghetti finally goes up into your mouth and you get that kind of snap sound.
I don't know, you maintain eye contact and you're like, this is me and you later. Like,
if I'm on a first date with somebody and she looks across the table and snaps up a piece of spaghetti while making eye contact with me, I look back and go, so we're splitting the bill today.
What do you mean? She's the one, bro.
No, absolutely not.
If a girl is willing to be full heathen on a first date, oh my God, I'm in love, dude.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We got friend of the show, Tony, on the phone. Tony, in your opinion, what's the safest food to eat on a first date, bro?
I think the best first date food is nachos.
Nachos.
Fully loaded.
No.
Everybody gets a piece of this and a piece of that.
Now, the
You know
only
what I'm
problem
saying?
with nachos, in my opinion, is there's usually one person who's taking too many of the toppings.
Yup.
And, like...
Oh, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. You got to be picky about those nachos. You get this part, I get that part. And when I go for nachos with my wife, you get this half, I get this half.
Oh, you guys put up borders.
Oh, yeah. Don't with my shit.
See, I get where you're coming from. But, like, when you're in a relationship, you do that stuff. But, like,
you with all
I'll
the
catch
plain ones
myself,
and
like, when I was
loaded
first dating
ones?
people, that it's like, I just go full savage mode, and then you don't even realize you're doing it sometimes. It's even like, me and Courtney have a good agreement now that when we get a box of pizza, there's 8 slices, right?
Yeah.
She's getting 3.
It's a little more than 50-50.
She knows every time we get a box of pizza.
Right.
She's getting 3 slices. Your boy's crushing 5.
Sure.
All right. We have that laid out. But at the same time, if you're getting a pizza with someone for the first time,
Yeah.
you do that thing where you pretend like you're really not that hungry.
Yeah.
Like that's one of my biggest pet peeves is eating food with people that you don't know, because you do this little fine dance around and you're like taking little nibbles. That's what you do on first dates, right? You're trying to impress.
First dates and office parties, like a pizza party in the office, is the same thing, right? Everybody takes one slice because nobody wants to be that person.
It's like donuts in the office, right?
Yeah.
Like you have one and then you pop by and you see there's still more there and you're like, oh, I don't want to be the fatso of the office.
Right.
Like, you know?
You're almost looking to try and cause a distraction. You need a diversion so you can run into the break room and swipe a second one.
Yeah.
But that's what you're doing. Now you're at the table with someone that theoretically the goal of this meal is that it'll be the first of many we spend our lives together
You're breaking
having.
bread, yeah.
And you're like, I guess I'll stop at 2 slices of pizza today.
I even catch myself when I'm drinking with people that I don't know. And all of a sudden you're like sitting at someone's house party and you're like, no one else has had a second drink yet. And you're like, my beer's done. And you're
Yeah.
like, can I go grab another one? And you go grab another one. And then all of a sudden you're like, none of these people are drinking.
It's just me now.
I brought 8 beers. I'm not leaving those here. Like,
Am I suddenly the problem?
do I have a problem or
Yeah.
do you guys have a problem? Like, what's going on? I thought we were having drinks, man. Like,
Yeah, same thing on a first date. Maybe you decide we're not going to do dinner. We're going to skip the movie. Let's just go for some drinks, get to know each other. All of a sudden you look down, there's 3 empties on your side of the table. Oh, no.
Yeah.
What have I done?
It even sucks, man, just when you're hanging out with someone and you're like, you want to grab a drink? And then you sit down and you're like, yeah, I'll get a pint. And they're like, oh, I'll just get a water. And you're like, oh, dude,
It's soul crushing.
why are you doing this to me, man?
Yeah, I will say that. If you are 2 people going out and the other person orders a drink, you gotta, unless you have a reason to not be drinking, you gotta get one. You can't water them. You can't leave them hanging.
Well,
by
you
themselves.
can't ask to go for a drink and not get a drink, in my opinion. Then ask to go for coffee, dude.
Yes,
Like, yeah.
yes, that's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
key.
yeah.
You can't say, let's go for a drink. Why don't we meet at the bar? I'll just grab a water.
There's nothing worse than being in your own head about like eating or drinking, man. It's the absolute worst, bro.
That's the beauty of the first date, is it's you and another person sitting across from each other, both riddled with crippling anxiety of what the other person is thinking about you.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how a relationship gets a good foundation.
The first date meal is like the first time you guys have sex, you know? Everything's overthought. You don't want it to be too quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store. With all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.